Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Yolandra Hancock. I am a community pediatrician and an obesity medicine specialist. My goal is to become the 21st century Dr. Spock. No, not the live long and prosper one, the world-renowned pediatrician. But I plan to use technology to tackle pediatric health disparities, starting with obesity. You see, in my over 10 years of experience being an obesity medicine specialist, there was a staggering projection that this generation is the first generation to have a shorter life expectancy than that of their parents. Let that sit for a second. And I know this firsthand because I lost a patient a couple of years ago. Heavy T is what we lovingly called him. He died at the age of 18 due to obesity-related causes. And so I made a commitment at that point, and for other patients, like my patient Latoya, who I just saw not too long ago, to make a change, to develop M-Size Me. Technology that allows a doctor to visually demonstrate the impact of behavior on weight and a way for teens to be able to engage in a very fun way in achieving their weight management goals. See, with Latoya at 15 and 5 feet tall, she weighed 170 pounds, gained 25 pounds a year. If I did the math, or when I did the math, she would hit 300 pounds by the time she was 18. And even with that information, when I pulled out a growth chart to show her parents a dot on a percentile graph, they didn't understand what that meant. When I said she's at the 97th percentile for her BMI, I got a blank stare. And then I started to explain further and further, and she said, Dr. Hancock, this don't even matter. That chart doesn't apply to me. I said, well, why not? She said, because this is for white folks. And she's not by herself. When over 40% of African-American adolescent girls are dealing with obesity, and over 60,000 pediatricians, even some with expertise like myself, are struggling to find ways to diagnose and manage it, it's time for something different, because without it, children are developing diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease, diseases I never thought I'd have to manage as a pediatrician. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to use M-Size Me to make a difference. For providers, it gives us a tool to be able to visually demonstrate with a 3D avatar what happens when we change our behaviors. When we go from eating 5 cheeseburgers a day to 2, 5 Cokes to 1, children can see, okay, in 5 years, this is what's going to happen with changes in my behavior. It'll allow EMR integration, electronic medical record integration, so that we don't have to do the same work twice. And then it allows us to see a dashboard so that the year that goes by, I can actually see whether or not Latoya actually achieved her goals. And if she didn't, I can connect with her to find out what's going on. And for Latoya, she has a way to make it engaging to achieve her weight goals through gamification, through interacting in a virtual world with other users, and then having an AI coach so that when Dr. Hancock isn't there to help her, there's the AI coach there to motivate her, to support her, and to serve as a resource. You see, if we don't do anything else, in 2030, over 50% of Americans will be obese. Not overweight and obese, just obese. If we add overweight in there, the number becomes incredibly staggering. But we don't have to do that, because as a result of what M-Size Me will do, providers will be able to overcome the top barriers of lack of time, resource, and knowledge in effectively managing pediatric obesity. And children will be able to achieve the goals that we set for them in such an amazing way that it becomes a lifestyle for them. Who do you know that can support our efforts in not just halting, but reversing pediatric obesity? We're in search of individuals who can provide technical assistance in AI development, virtual world development, and the electronic medical record integration, as well as financial investment in this technology. At the end, let's talk about it. You can come and see me on this Wellness Wednesday for healthy selfies and conversation. Thank you.